you all find yourself in the pitch of night, surrounded by its sounds, standing 20 feet from a 15-foot wide pit, somewhere in what looks to be an old ruin. All the buildings and surroundings kind of seem to be fading into the background, or at least shrouded within the night skies, making a eerie unease. Across the pit, you see 3 children facing away from you, looking up at some humanoids clad in fur and bones, with animal skulls masks, or it could actually be their true form. As you try to react to the scene in front of you, you seem to be somehow frozen in place, can make no sound and no movement. From behind the humanoids, a dark, blood-soaked figure in rough humanoid incomposure, lacking a nose and mouth, but an extremely long fingers and face marked with 3 large, hollow crevices. For a brief moment, seeing the glint of 3 orbs staring back at you from the figure, it almost appears as if the eyes that don't quite match have been crudely put within the crevices of the face of the thing staring back at you. As you unconsciously blink, the figure vanishes into the mist, leaving the 3 others engulfing the children in shadow, only to have them fall limply into the pit below. Blackness fills your view, followed by the purple throbs of the abyss and the infinite vastness of stars surrounded by a strange mass of teeth, only to realize that the cosmos itself is the thing that approaches you. It seems that you have seen the true face of a forgotten evil. Once again you blink, only to awake in the Guildhall's dorm, where you've been for the past couple weeks waiting your first quest. So the room that you're in is a fairly large room with 10 beds, 2 windows kind of next to each other, where outside you can see what looks to be a courtyard with a huge statue to what looks to be a great hero that you know to be one of the founders of the Heroes Guild. There's a couple of wardrobes where you guys have been able to store some of your belongings, along with foot lockers at each of the bed, and a bathroom inside with a tub and mirror.
All right, well, gonna jump up out of bed then and just have a look around the room, see who's about.
I'm gonna get out of bed and start putting on my armor and getting ready for the day.
I'm just gonna start preparing my spells for the day.
I'm standing in front of the mirror, just staring at myself, wondering if that was a dream.
I just kind of wake up from the ground, my body wrestling in my armor a bit, and waking up, standing up just normally.
Viktas will take off his night clothing as if he's going to get ready for the day. But before he does, standing there in his loincloth, he's going to start doing some stretches. Got to stay limber.
Oh dear.
All right, as you guys are starting your morning routine, getting ready and everything, you notice a knock at the door.
Yep, Viktas will go answer it. He's still not dressed.
Right.
Eva rushes to see who it is.
Opening the door, you see a stable boy that you know works for the guild there. He says, good, you guys are awake. The guildmaster has requested your presence.
Is that right? Okay. All of us?
Yes, all of you. He has to meet in the guild hall. Yeah, it seems he may have a quest for you.
All right. Kind of. I just shut the door on him. Turn to everybody else and say, "Time for some action, guys and ladies." I'll kind of gesture a cordial bow to the ladies as I say that.
Ava rubs her face. She's not very pleased with that gesture.
Incantrix's tail is going to flick back and forth as she kind of smirks.
I hoist my sword onto my shoulder and just stare, kind of nodding knowingly.
Okay. So you guys make your way down to the guild hall where you see at one of the far tables, the guild master is sitting with some papers in front of him, going through some things. As you approach, he beckons you, says, "Good morning. It seems we actually have a task for you guys, as you've been very helpful for us, and this will be a good chance to prove yourself within the guild." One of the members, actually, of a order from across the actual globe has requested us to help out with a little problem they are having.
A joint operation, is it?
Well, it seems they're kind of outsourcing as they're a little short-handed at the moment. This is also not something they typically deal with, but it seems that one of their members has gotten himself into a little bit of a predicament. He has been accused of kidnapping and has been charged and will be executed in the next few days.
Kidnapping whom?
It seems that there was a small child kidnapped from the village where they are keeping him now. They
see. Who did it? Like who's been accused?
It's a man named WISHLIST. His order believes that he is innocent because it's not something that he would typically do. It also seems that they've kind of persecuted him without the actual child's body. There's no sign of it. The only evidence they really had was he was spotted near the farm the night of the kidnapping, and then there was mud on his boots that matched that of the mud of that farm.
Most certainly
Okay.
seems suspicious.
So kid disappears. Turns out he might have been there at some point because there's matching mud, and they say that he did it. And they're going to execute him.
How do they know the mud is matching of the farm? Mud can be anywhere.
Right? Mud's mud.
Did they taste it or something?
I'm not really sure how they came to this conclusion, but
Must have a stench.
Not only that, but if they think that he did it and they haven't recovered the child yet, why are they executing him? Like, if he did it, then clearly he knows where the child is. So they would be
something isn't right.
They would be cutting off their avenue of being able to find the child. And if he didn't do it, then they're killing him for no reason.
Well,
Sounds very reckless.
Talking. Why don't we go help the dude?
it does seem that the captain of the guard in this town seems to be kind of jumping the gun, and I believe that's why the Secret of the Righteousness really would like us to investigate the kidnapping and see if we can't prove their scholar innocent.
Well, I have a very important question. And I kind of lean in really close to the guildmaster and I say, just how much authority have we got in this?
Well,
how far can we go?
Within the bounds of decency. I mean, you don't want to ruin the guild's reputation. So try to do this as honorably as you can.
Decency, is it? Well, I mean, some people might consider some things decent, others not so much. I mean, we're talking sailors in the slums decent, or high society noble ball decent? Where are we at here?
I will
we
leave
get
that to
Bill
your
already?
judgment.
That's a great idea. And I'll kind of just slide on back and recline in my chair.
Yes, but remember, you are representing the guild. If something were to come up that puts us in a bad light, there will be consequences.
I say
Yep.
we conduct this with a soldier's decency. If we need to, and I think we should first, we should interrogate him and see if he knows anything. If not, then we go to the scene of the crime and see if we find any clues from there.
I mean, that's kind of a good idea, but shouldn't we talk to the captain of the guard first to find out what they know and why they implicated him? How
We'd
they
have
know
to
the
talk
motive
to him in
thing?
order to interrogate him anyways.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Information, that's the key. Find out as much as we can.
Yes. So, he kind of reaches over the table and presents you each with a seal and says, and this is very important for the guild members. It shows that you are among us, and it also helps with the teleportation to different areas within the world. We have a teleportation circle here and one close to the city that you're going to, or town, I should say, which again is across the globe. So I have asked one of the individuals that is from that area to help with the teleportation to that circle so you guys do not get lost somewhere else in the void. And with that, a man steps out of the shadows and just dressed in his noble gear, says, I will be able to make sure you get teleported there without problem. I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Let's go.
All
I
right.
think I'm ready.
Very well. With that, leads you to an area outside where a teleportation circle has been made up, and starts the incantation, and all of you appear in a different part of the world, beneath a bunch of stones where a teleportation is set in the middle of the circle. The town of Osterwald is maybe a few miles in that direction, he points. Just follow the River Ost, and you will come upon it.
Okay. I look around the room. So do I see anybody else there besides us?
Actually, no, there's no one else. You're actually out in the middle of a field, just in a stone circle.
Oh, okay. All right. Do we see a nearby town or wherever it is we're supposed to be going?
Yeah, you can see off in the distance. It's a good, like about a mile away or so. You see something towards the direction he pointed. There's a road headed along the path of the river as well.
All right, let's go that way.
Ava starts skipping along. She's excited to be out in the open.
Incantrix is very happy somebody is skipping. She's chasing after Ava.
I just kind of monitor it and make sure that nobody gets hurt in that vicinity. Just kind of watching.
I'm gonna go at a moderate pace and just make sure there's nothing dangerous.
Speaking of dangerous, Victor starts juggling his two daggers. trying to throw them higher and higher, but still catch them without, stabbing himself.
If you miss one of those, it's not going to feel good.
Incantrix is very,
It's
very
true.
intrigued by shiny objects flying in the air.
I tried to hide Ronnie from the daggers.
Squirrel?
All right. So after a little ways of walking, you start to see where the path kind of forks over across the river and a bridge. As on the other side of the river, you can see a large, what looks to be almost like a fort. Actually, let me go ahead and pull you over to a town map. May take a minute to load.
That looks really cool.
Very clean.
All right, so you can see a large building that looks to be a fort off towards the eastern side. Then a couple of buildings on the outer edge of the city, and you can see the massive city towards the middle.
Okay, and it's the fort that we're heading towards?
That's on you guys where you would like to go.
Where are we most likely to encounter? I guess the fort the most... I mean, have we ever been here before?
No, this is the first time you guys have ever even probably been to this side of the world.
Okay. Well, as soon as we see any people, Viktas will try and sort of get up to them and start talking with the first person he comes across.
Okay. You do see a group of people outside of this building here on the pathway. They seem to be straightening up around it and taking care of the grounds and everything.
All right. So, yeah, Viktas will approach. I guess if they're all stood around, and he'll get all of their attentions and say, "Hey, you guys, listen. We need to find the captain of the guard. Can anybody point us in the right direction?"
You probably want to go to the East Watch Garrison, and they point to the large, fortified building. And back down the path.
All right.
You'll be looking for Regis Forlorn. He's the captain of the guard there.
All right. What kind of man is he?
It's not a bad individual. I mean, he seems to do his job well and make sure everything runs a good order. He's a good justice keeper.
All right. Well, that's good to know. Tell me, is he a combative type? Does he get a bit rowdy, or is he very stoic and serious, like that guy over there, pointing to the large armored paladin coming behind me?
He's a very stern individual. He's very by the book militant type.
Ah, I see.
In that case, I could talk to him.
Ava
Sure,
speaks in
sure.
low tones to Incantrix. Shouldn't we ask about the kid?
Incantrix is just going to shrug and keep twitching her tail back and forth.
Do you know anything about the crime that the captain of the guard is currently pursuing?
Oh, the horrible kidnapping where they finally caught the man who should be I think they were executing him in a couple of days. A horrible thing, kidnapping a child like that.
Do you know any specifics?
No, just the rumors that go around town. Nothing truly, except that they found that he was the kidnapper.
But
You
they
don't
didn't
have
find the
any-
kid yet?
I'm sorry?
I was just saying, but they didn't find the kid yet?
No. I believe it may be the case that they won't find the kid ever, but I'm not sure if they've actually given out the information. I know the family's stayed at their farm and hasn't had much contact with others.
Why is this such a crime? Like, maybe the kid just went to go play in the woods or something.
That would be a dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, but I mean, kids, you know, they wander
enough.
off. They do strange, dangerous things all the time.
Yet,
How
I think
reckless.
kids are a little bit more resilient than us.
Not all of them.
You'd be surprised.
So, all right then. Well, in that case, I guess we should go talk to the guy. I'll look around to the rest of the party.
I'm down for that, unless anybody has business here in town.
Oh, one more thing, and I kind of lean in. Hey, so where's a good place to find some good drinks and good company?
Ooh, drinks.
Ew.
Are you asking for a brothel?
What? No, don't be ridiculous. I don't ever pay
Do
for it.
not take me there.
With a face
okay?
like this, why would I need to?
Do brothels have bells and string?
No, not usually.
I don't think I'm old enough to go there, guys.
You certainly aren't.
Forgot how old I made it.
But anyway, I was just talking about a busy bar. You need to get your mind out of the gutter, my friend.
The Sanguine Dawn
I'm
Inn
just
is
being
the
sure.
most busiest place.
Sorry, what was this place called?
The Sanguine Dawn Inn.
The Sanguine Dawn Inn. Okay, cool.
How old is everyone's character, really quick?
Ava's 15.
Viktas is sort of 19, 20-ish.
The age of mine is unknown, but you can assume it's pretty old considering he seems pretty lifeless.
Incantrix is 35.
Okay, so my character is not the oldest at 23 then.
Yeah, my character's around like the 27, 28 range.
My character is probably the oldest. It's just kind of unknown. He's kind of lost in time.
Incantrix wants to play with the twirling hair. Out of character. Is that the second oldest character?
What was
Most
that?
likely, yeah.
Oh, good thing I'm a cat. I don't act my age.
You're in trouble regardless.
Okay, back in character. Let's go talk to people. And drink.
No.
It suggests we take drinks after the job.
During works too.
I don't think that's the greatest idea.
And Cantrix's tail just kind of flicks back and forth as she walks towards the town.
I don't mind if you drink after the interrogation, because I don't think he would talk to somebody that's drunk.
Well, we should get on talking to him first anyway, because we need to talk to him. We need to talk to the guild member person, and then who knows what happens after? Maybe we go to the bar, couple of drinks to loosen tongues, that kind of thing. You just never know.
If you wish to go to
already
the
ahead.
bar, if you guys wish to go to the bar, be my guest. I'm going to go talk to the captain of the guard.
I'm gonna go with him
I mean,
too.
I thought we agreed we were going to go to the bar after. I mean, that's what I just said.
Yes, but who said they were Wait, I thought I heard someone going to the bar already.
I didn't say I'm going to the bar. I'm just walking ahead of you guys because I'm tired of talking.
Oh,
I figured everybody was walking while having this conversation.
yeah.
All right, so you guys approach the front of the garrison. There are a guard that calls down from one of the guard towers. Says, "What's your business?"
Wish to speak to the captain of the guard, Ares Calmarcas, private.
What is the manner of this visitation?
We're from the Heroes Guild.
Further investigation about the crime that he is currently overseeing.
1 minute. You hear him kind of walk off. A couple minutes go by. Nothing. And eventually you hear a voice call down. "Open the gate, let them in." And as the gates open, you are met by, seems to be just a regular soldier. Says, "Follow me. I will lead you to the captain."
I'll follow him.
All right. He looks back at the group and says, "Is all of you coming, or?"
Yep.
"Very well. Follow me." Starts to lead you through the garrison into the main building, back to an office, where he knocks on the door, and you hear him say, "Captain Forlorn, visitors for you." And from the inside, you hear a regal voice say, "Enter." And the guy opens the door for you. You see, you see a very neat and organized office with a half-elf, very old and in splint armor, sitting behind the desk. It looks up and says, "Greetings. I am Captain Forlorn. What may I help you with?"
We are from the Heroes Guild, currently further investigating the crime that you're overseeing.
I suspect this is about the kidnapping. It has already been taken care of. The gentleman BobRoss will be executed with the autumn harvest in 3 days.
We'd like to take a look at that evidence.
His muddy boots. It's really the only physical evidence we have, plus the multiple people that spotted him on the farm that day of the kidnapping, the night of the kidnapping.
But did anyone actually see it happen?
If possible, could you bring forth the witnesses and the muddy boots I would like to take a look at? Mud can come from anywhere.
Can we go to the farm where it happened?
Yes, you're more than welcome to go to the farm, but the witnesses may be harder to gather. It may take some time. The boots, we still have them. So yes, if you like, you can look at them.
As for the witnesses, as long as they're here before the execution date for us to talk to is fine by me. And I would like to do a personal interrogation, if allowed.
And you said you are from this Heroes Guild.
Former private as well.
I have heard very little of this, but do know of them and see that they are trying to help everyone, it seems, now that you are involved. And I would take it that his order has also probably hired you. So I guess it would be best to let you interrogate or at least talk to the man.
That's fine by me.
So what did he say when you like got him? Like, I'm assuming that he said he didn't do it, right?
Of course, all criminals say they didn't do it. No one,
Not all of
very
them.
rarely,
But anyway.
admits to it.
But so
we
what
talked about
reason did he give up being on the farm in the first place then?
He actually doesn't recall any of the
He
incidents.
doesn't remember. He doesn't remember being on the farm?
No.
It's possible that some spells may have been intertwined in this then.
He has said that he was here researching something for his order about something that happened here years ago, but doesn't recall ever meeting the child or having any of the interaction with him.
How long's the child been missing?
It's been about a week.
About a week. Okay.
The
And
chances of finding the child alive with that much time is very low.
how long have you had him in prison?
We had just captured him the other day, maybe 2 days ago now.
Can we talk to him?
Yes, you're more than willing to let that happen. And if you wish to do that now, I guess I can lead you to the cells.
Please.
So I got to ask you as well. So if let's just say, for your argument's sake, he did it. And if he did do it, but you still don't have the kid, if you execute him, how are you going to find the kid?
The problem with that solution is...
I'm asking him.
It is most likely that the child has already perished. We will continue searching for it, but in the meantime, we shall bring a little bit of closure to it and maybe have some of the individuals around the city at peace.
I see. Well, all right. I guess that kind of makes sense.
But what if new evidence comes to light? How are you going to cross-reference that with the captive?
If new evidence comes to light where the child is back in her family's arms, then that will be enough.
Have you how do you know that it wasn't like the kid's parents that did it? Because the parents were clearly at the farm at the same time, right? And I mean, I've seen plenty of cases where parents will make disappear their own children for various reasons. Not gonna lie, I've seen some shit, but you know. So I mean, it could have been one of the parents.
What do you have against parents, man?
I don't have anything against parents, but it could have been.
After conversing with them and doing the investigation, we have found that the parents most likely were not any suspects. Now,
Ava's gonna look around the room.
And take the time to talk to WISHLIST, then please, by all means. He opens the gate to the cell doors, and you can see rows of cells with a man sitting in one of them. His kind of curled up in the corner as the door kind of closes behind you guys. He starts to look up to see who's coming into the cell area. You notice that his left eye is swollen shut. He has multiple abrasions and cuts on his nose and cheeks, and it looks to be missing a few teeth.
For the first few moments, can I handle this for a minute?
Knock yourself out.
I'm going to unsheathe my sword and set it against the back wall opposite side of the cage and kneel down with my shield off in front of him.
And kind of just looks at you.
You've been in a brawl of some sort, by the looks of it. By whom did you fight?
Fight. Interesting way of putting it. I really wasn't able to put much of anything. They just needed to apparently get information from me in the only way they knew how.
What information did you give them?
Only what I could. I've been into the city looking into some events that happened in the past. I went to the inn to set up a room so I could kind of investigate the city and everything, and look around. It has been a few years ago that a witch was burned at the stake here, and I was following up with some tales about that. By any chance, do you have any food? You can see he's kind of shaking and looks to be almost starving.
I do.
Oh, that would be great if you could spare some. They only feed me scraps of moldy bread here and there.
I'll give him a ration, and I'm gonna reach through the bars, and before he takes it, like I'm gonna give it to him, I'm gonna grab his arm for a second. This is not to hurt you, but it is to help you. And I'm gonna use Divine Sense.
Okay.
Divine Sense basically means if he is evil or has evil intentions, he smells and feels terrible, but if he is good, he has a sweet aroma / he has like a warmth to him.
You also detect the presence of undead and stuff around you, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So the undead that you already know of, you can get the sense of that. From him, you get a warm sensation.
Okay. Is the captain of the guard still in here?
No. He had closed the door behind you guys and left.
And then before I let go, I'm going to give him 2 points of lay on hands to heal some of his wounds.
Okay.
Can we see the spell being cast?
You see him respond in kindness.
But there's no like physical sign that a spell has been cast.
What does your lay on hands look like?
Lay on hands, my hand basically glows a little bit and his wounds and stuff will heal.
Okay, Ava's a little freaked out then.
Okay.
It's just healing magic, as you can see. I'm assuming a few of his scrapes and stuff have been healed.
Yeah, you see a couple of the... a few of the scrapes on his face seem to be healing up. He seems to regain a little bit of what looks to be strength and everything as he's eating.
Good.
But he's still in pretty bad shape, so...
I'm going to stay kneeled in front of him as he's eating and wait a minute till he's done.
Okay.
Now that I have assisted you, I need your assistance so I can save you. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Do you remember the night of the kidnapping?
No, I do not.
Do you remember any actions in 24 hours previous or after?
I had, like I said, gotten a room at the inn. Went in to get set up, and as soon as I walked in, I noticed the room itself was extremely unnatural. It almost seemed to warp some space. It almost didn't seem to be part of this dimension. Then the night of the kidnapping, actually, I had gone to sleep and awoken in a weird realm that I believe is called the Dream, where I had actually run into the spirits of Carlita Kneeling, the individual that was burned at the stake that I had come to research.
This person you came to research, were they proven guilty, or was it a false accusation?
Sadly, I do not know. The tales and information about the trial were very vague.
What happened to the research?
Well, being as the city is not the best of keeping track of things, it kind of went by the wayside. It's a fairly new town. I mean, over 10 years that it had been founded, it grew to where it is now. So it's come a long way, but the founders try to keep things very pleasant and at least appealable to those around.
So, is there any records that you know of that might be within the stronghold we are in now?
No, not likely. I doubt that they would keep it in the garrison.
If we cannot find the logs, do you remember did you have the muddy boots, or did those were found separately? Do you remember?
I was wearing boots that day when they found me. They were in mud, but the whole land is covered in that same mud. It's the same dirt.
Yes, I realize this. This is why I'm confused. That's their only evidence. Do you remember any situation where you would have walked in the mud?
No, not at all.
Was it smelling mud?
I'm sorry?
Did it have a stench?
Nothing out of the ordinary. Just the smell of earth. Wet earth at that.
So it was pleasant mud. Interesting.
The mud from the farm may not have a smell because not all farms carry animals.
Have you ever been on a farm?
Yes.
I think we should go to a farm now.
I'm gonna hand him one more ration. Save this for a little while. You'll need your strength when I return. We'll discuss this further. I believe I have everything I need at the moment.
As you reach in to hand him it, he in turn grabs your hand, says, "Thank you. I hope you guys come to find the child. I fear that the child may be a sacrifice to the dark god that Catalina worshipped. If she did have something to do with this, that's the most logical explanation for it."
You know, witches are always stealing kids, right? They always want to put them in the pot.
My opinion of what may have happened is, since he has no memory, a hag has taken control of his body for a short time to steal the child. The room, he said, felt off. So therefore, if we investigate the same room and it does not have the same aura, we could say it was a curse. And when I touched him the first time, I used my divine sense. He had no ill will.
So
Hmm?
he goes back to eating the ration that you gave him, kind of back in his corner, of getting ready to have to deal with whatever else comes up next after you guys leave.
Are his clothes in bad shape?
They have a little scrapes and cuts, but they're easily mendable.
Okay. I was gonna give him my spare common clothes, but if his aren't that bad, then I'll hold off.
Is so did he give us the location of this hut that felt off then? Did he give us the location?
It was a room in an inn, if I remember right.
Oh, room in an inn. Okay. And is that all? So was he? Well, I'm going to ask him directly. So did you find anything else out about like this whole thing? I mean, why are you here investigating them having burned a witch way back when?
Trying to gain the historical accuracies of the events, find out if she was in fact a witch and what she was looking for.
Have
Or
you
doing
been
here.
here before?
What was that?
She was.
Have you been here before?
No, I've not been here since the small town was founded. I mean, the events had happened 5 years ago, so I was trying to look into it more to see if I could get any more to take back to log into the archives. I am a scholar by profession, so
We were going to go to the farm and then investigate your room. If it has the same off feeling, then it could be the room itself, but if it was just that time, then I believe you are caught at the wrong time in the wrong place.
that could very well be. Again, I hope you find anything you can to help save my life.
I intend to. I'm going to resheath my sword and don my shield, and then go to the door. Anybody else have questions for him?
So you didn't find out what this supposed witch had actually done, like what she was charged with, other than being a witch, like what reason they had to suspect that she was a witch or anything like that.
I did have records of it. Unfortunately,
Okay.
I don't recall them off the top of my head, as I am a little shaken from that.
Did you leave them in your room?
They were with my belongings, wherever they are.
Where did you, like, so you said you don't remember the night in question, you just remember going into the inn room. Where were you when you sort of came to?
I was in my room, in bed.
So you remember going into the room, things feeling off, and then remembering waking up in bed, but not going to bed.
Yes. I was looking
What
around
did you do
and
that?
and go to sleep.
Ava raises her hand.
Yes.
So, how long have you been in town? And, like, did you go shopping or something? Like, did you bring those boots from home? Like, I don't. Are you in these boots all the time? Like, I don't get it.
They are my standard traveling clothes, yes.
But like, how long have you been here? How can you only have one pair of shoes?
Do you have
I'm
multiple
not
pairs
wealthy.
of shoes? I kind of stop and look. Do you have multiple pairs of shoes?
Doesn't everyone?
I don't wear shoes.
I'm going to look down at my gauntleted boots. No.
I never leave my armor.
Ew,
I
it
flex
must
my claws
stink.
on my feet.
I have a spare
Wait.
pair of
Are you guys just really smelly all the time then? Jeez.
We bathe. At least I do. Also, does the party know that he's undead? Do we know that beforehand or not?
Yeah, you guys would.
Yeah,
know that.
you kind of know, but you don't see too much features. You can see his hands are kind of like really, really decrepit and bony at times, but you can't see his face. He wears a helmet to specifically cover most of his face.
But you would
So-
know specifically that he is a member of the undead, that you
So
are
if-
not a living creature.
So if they have your boots though, like, are you just not getting them back?
If the trial goes and he is proven innocent, he will get his belongings returned, unless they wish to keep them as physical evidence.
You guys need to buy him new boots when he's released.
We have to release him first.
That would
You
be
can't
nice,
just
but
take the man's boots.
I really, if everything goes the way they have it planned, I will not need them, sadly.
Why do you already feel like you failed?
In 3 days' time, I will be hung in the town square. The gallows are already built.
I'll make you a deal. If you don't get hung in 3 days' time, then you owe all of us all of the ale that we can drink in an evening. You're picking up the tab.
It's a bit harsh.
He's poor, man. Stop milking him.
I'm doing this because
No,
it's the
not
right
milk,
thing to do.
ale.
No.
I think when he gets, not murdered, then we should get him a nice pair of shoes.
Okay, you can buy him a nice pair of shoes, but he owes me as much ale as I can drink in an evening. Do we have a deal? I kind of lean in close and point at him.
He kind of looks you over a couple times. Says, if you can truly get me out of here, sure.
I will lean back down to him. I will help with the tab.
That would be appreciative if it ever happens.
It will. I used to be a keeper of a dungeon and an executioner. I know an innocent man when I see one.
Do you know anyone else in town that we can talk to?
The inn would be the only place I could suggest going and checking out to see if what happened to me happens to you guys. If you sleep in the room, see if you go to that dream realm or
Which
room
room was it? Can you tell us the specific room?
If you go to the inn and ask about the Catalina's room, they'll know exactly which one it is. It has had reports of being haunted before, so.
Maybe only a couple of us should do that, so the others can watch and make sure that person doesn't die or disappear.
Viktas raises his hand and says, I'm in. I'm going. I want to see the ghost.
I'll go check out this ghost.
Should we split in two? Half go to the room and half go to the farm to save us some time.
Don't split the party.
No.
We're not fighting directly.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. We should all stay together because if anything does happen to the people that go to the room, the other members of the party need to be there to be able to help us.
We should go to the farm first, to check out the scene, and then we can go to the room so y'all can get drunk.
Oh, we're not going to get drunk in the room.
It'd be the end of the day, so it means we'd get our own room, and then you would get drunk, probably.
I'm too young to get drunk, you weirdo.
I didn't say you. I was talking about the people that want to get drunk.
Who's trying to think about getting drunk? I just said I wanted a drink. I don't have to get smashed.
Are you really ever not smashed?
All the time.
It's hard to tell.
And Trix
Only
covers
one way
her
to
eyes
find
with her
out.
tail.
Come on, let's get to this farm. I want to smell the mud.
What is your obsession with smelling mud?
If she wants to smell mud, she can smell mud.
Unlike
Okay.
some people that have been on a farm and can't appreciate that mud is different everywhere you go, I appreciate that difference.
Yes, it has a different smell, but it doesn't mean I enjoy smelling mud.
That wet, earthy smell. It's the smell of life and virulence. Something to behold.
Yeah, like
Wash it out of metal.
it's so much better to smell the mud. It means you're out in the open.
I can't
After a fresh
smell.
rain.
Are there cows at this farm? Because I could really go for some milk.
I'm assuming we're walking and talking here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the guards have let you out and everything and showed you out of the garrison. And you're making your way towards the farm.
I like the idea we're just having this conversation like right in front of him.
Just like, guys,
These guys are going
Especially
to
to talk about.
prove my innocence.
That's how I always imagine.
Hey guys, let's go get a giant piece of cow, and this guy can just continue starving.
As long as we eat it right in front of him.
what is wrong with you people? I just fed him twice.
But for real, Incantrix, like, doesn't that give you a stomachache?
I was looking for spiders and stuff to chase. I heard them, but I was just looking for things to do.
There better not be any small birds.
Birdies.
All right, so you make your way
Actually,
kind of through the town and see that it's fairly busy. You pass a square where you do see gallows kind of being set up and built. You go all the way through town across the river, past a bunch
Really
of
quick.
houses.
When we pass by the gallows, is there anyone important looking?
No, you see a couple like kids playing around the area, stuff like that. It doesn't seem to be guarded or anything. Nobody's really watching it.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there'd be an important individual watching it, but alright, never mind.
Okay. So you make your way all the way across the other river on the other side of the town to the house that's right here. If it ever pings you guys to it.
I see it.
All right. This is the farm. As you got directions to it on your way, kind of people telling you where to go. You can see that it looks like nobody's actually around. It seems like people kind of are staying away from the farm. You don't see any farm hands or anybody outside tending the fields or anything.
Well, that's really unusual.
Is there a building for farmhands, or is there just no one active?
There is a small kind of like shed or smaller building off to the left of it for the farmhands and everything.
It's possible they're in town, but let's find out. I'm gonna knock on the front door of the main house.
Okay.
I'm gonna go into stealth and start sneaking around and seeing if I can find anyone. Maybe
All right.
I still think that we shouldn't discount the possibility of the parents. They might be doing something dodgy, and well, maybe we can find them.
I'm
Find
gonna
them.
look at him before he runs off. Don't cause any huge problems.
You do it your way, I'll do it mine.
Glare.
And I vanish into the, well, not the shadows, but whatever.
I'm just gonna avoid Ares and stick with Incantrix.
Why are you scared of me?
You don't notice, okay? You're too distracted.
I'm working
I'm
on a
just going
murder
to
case.
monitor them.
Big, tall, scary, shiny man.
That knows a little bit of magic.
Yep, big, scary, shiny man knowing magic. Yep, scary.
Which one?
I'm the only one that's used magic in front of her so far, so me.
I mean,
Probably.
Trix is fine with it, being a cleric. She's fine with magic, but she is very comforting to younger souls.
Well, that's fine.
Being a cat, you know, I'm basically like a giant emotional support animal.
I love cats.
Somebody click that.
Does anybody answer the door when I knock?
No answer comes out. You don't actually hear any movement or anything else around from inside after you knock.
Going to grab the handle and push the door, or pull it, depending on which way it opens.
Is stealth? Yeah.
Does it open at all, or is it locked?
No, it is locked.
Okay, kind of figure.
I do have a skill from being a wight that could assist. I have sense morality. It basically allows me to sense any beast, dragon, elemental, fae, or humanoid, or giant within 60 feet. So if I use that, I could tell if somebody's inside or not if I'm just near the house.
That would be very useful right now, actually.
Yeah, I would like to use sense of morality. Hold
Alright.
on, I'll put it in the chat. Should I put it in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh, it should be mortality, by the way. Morality is like...
Oh, yeah, mortality. I forgot about that. My bad. I misspelled it.
Woohoo, somebody else who can't spell.
Also, so it doesn't work behind cover, so the door would need to be open and you're looking...
Oh, yeah. I didn't read that part. My bad.
Because it's basically just the opposite of... well, not the opposite, but a variant on Divine Sense, right?
Yeah.
Does it go through windows?
Oh, yeah. If there's windows, maybe I can sense if somebody's hiding inside.
Technically speaking, if a window is closed, even though you can see through it, it's still blocking. It still would block line of effect.
Yeah.
In theory, I mean that's down to Kilter though. I mean, if he thinks that it's weak enough, it doesn't pose enough of a barrier. I mean, it is only a thin sheet of glass. Might not pose enough of a barrier to block it.
Yeah.
Well, if worst comes to worst, they're easy to break. But that would be breaking in.
We're not breaking and entering while we're trying to solve a case.
Either way, you only things that you sense around you are each other.
So it does work through the window, or does it not?
I'm not 100% sure, but you do not sense any presence.
Okay.
I've got some thieves' tools. Maybe I could find a way in.
Once again, we are not breaking and entering and trespassing while we are working on a case.
Hey, Ares, what's that in the corner of the field?
Corner of the field.
Something moved. And I'm going to nudge Eva.
I'm going to turn around and peer out that way.
Should we do like a sleight of hand?
It would be a deception check, but...
Aha!
Okay, deceive versus insight.
Yep.
But it would be against your passive insight.
Would it?
Well, yeah, because unless you're actively trying to gauge whether they're telling the truth, it's them active. That's what passive is for. It's for you to be able to tell just offhand if somebody's lying or whatever's going on. So,
well, mine is definitely higher than that. So
yeah.
Your passive is enough to let you know that she's trying to distract you.
My passive insight is 11. So
does it matter that I'm blocking view?
It was worth a try.
I'm going to look down. Hey, wait, is it up or down? I can't remember how tall your character is.
Who, me?
Yes, whoever's trying to deceive.
I'm 5'8".
So
Out of
down.
character, how do I share it in chat?
Share what in chat?
Like how Trix just shared deception, how do I share it?
Oh, on your sheet, just click the word deception, and it'll roll it.
Normal roll?
Yeah. If you have
Yep.
advantage or disadvantage, I'll let you know ahead of time, and that's just a prompt to ask.
Okay. Do I have advantage?
No, not this one. So it would be a.
It would be assisted by me, though.
You already rolled, though.
Yeah.
Eh. Can ours be combined?
There we go.
So are you trying to add to the deception?
Yeah, we're in it together.
All right. So in this case, you can go ahead and roll an insight check to see with advantage, since you already have, since they're kind of piling on.
Insight for me.
Hell.
Oh. Nice.
All right. So you get the sense that there may be something there. I'll leave it up to you how you would wish to handle that.
We'll look at the other paladin. Watch them. I don't want to commit any crimes while we're trying to solve a different one. I will go humor you, but I'm also going to look for evidence that is free to inspect because it's not breaking into the house. And then I'm going to walk off the porch and then look around and check out the corner of the field.
As he
Okay.
turns away, Trix is going to go... meow, 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 meow.
I can still hear you.
Okay.
Ava covers her mouth to stifle a giggle.
I'm just going to wave with my tail.
I'm going to take out a gold coin and hold it between my fingers as I walk away and flick it up and catch it.
Instantly, I'm just...
Yeah, I was just saying, let's talk the cat.
Ava's going to go to the house and see if she can hear anything.
You're just going up to the door to see if you can hear anything, or like entering in.
Yep.
Does the door have a peephole?
No, the door
Everyone
does
has
not
to
have
look
a
for
peephole.
clues.
Yeah. All right. So, were you trying to open the door, or are you just putting your ear up to see if you hear anything inside?
If I'm trying to open the door, would it be with my thieves' tools?
Yes.
Sure, why not?
Okay. So go ahead and do a thieves' tool roll, dexterity, to see if you unlock the door. As you're walking through the field, you do see different footprints, equipment drags, like from where they plowed the field and everything. Nothing seems to be out of the ordinary. It's also kind of hard to tell with as many. You can tell that there's a few different people that work on this, like a good amount of people work on this farm. The door does not unlock.
Is there anything I can climb? Like, can I climb up on the roof or anything like that?
I mean, you could try to scale the walls and stuff. Be athletics.
I'll knock on the door of the farmhand's shed to see if anyone's in there.
All right. Again, after a few seconds, there seems to be no answers or no response.
Is there a cart or an equipment shed anywhere?
It's pretty much the same building.
Okay. Is there any cart that is here right now?
No, you do not see one.
Is there tracks for a cart that used to be here?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go back to the patio as I see them climb up the building.
What kind of roof is it? Like, what material is it? Shingles? Is it thatched? And what kind of, what condition is it in?
It's shingles, I guess. In good condition. Everything seems to be fairly new and well made.
Excuse me, what are you doing up there?
I'm just going to freeze and look at him.
They're not here. I'm assuming they went to town to either sell or buy stock because the cart is missing.
Uh-huh, that's nice.
Which means
need
do
answers.
not break into their house.
I mean, if I fall through the roof, I'm not breaking in.
That's shingles. It would make sense if it was thatch and you didn't need to climb the building.
I'm a cat.
And I'm gonna flip the coin again and put it away.
Ava,
Trix instantly is like, ooh, aw.
No.
Then I'm gonna
Like
stay on the
me.
roof. Where's the rogue? He was nice. He doesn't yell at me.
I'm not yelling, I'm telling you not to commit a crime.
I see no crime.
Not yet.
I hear Ava say, I found them. Quick, put them away before Ares takes them.
I'm not going to take anyone's tools. They're not necessary for this situation.
What is going on?
So, we can either stay here and wait for them to return, or we can go investigate the inn room. Or, if you wish to, I will wait here without breaking into the house.
I vote we go to the inn.
have we?
I mean, if we broke into it, we wouldn't make any, like, we wouldn't damage anything.
It's still breaking and entering,
Can Ava peek around?
Yeah.
and trespassing.
I mean, what if Ava, like, trips and one of her horns goes through the door? Like, that's not breaking and entering.
What horns?
Oh, never mind. Or even if, Lyonel falls and his armor breaks the wall.
I'm going to sit there, very unamused, and just look at them.
And Trix
Lyonel,
just,
can you
smiles her
smile
toothy
brief?
cat grin.
Lyonel, give me a boost. I want to see through the window.
All right.
You can look through the windows because you're not hurting anything. Just don't break the windows.
Back off, man. I'm talking to Lyonel.
Relax. Besides, if you see anything that is suspicious enough to warrant entry, then we could break in.
Don't tell me to relax, man. That's just rude.
What is with these people?
I heard that.
I know.
I'm not people.
I have the coin resting on my thumb, ready to flick again.
This is like medieval laser pointers.
Exactly.
This is instantly in position, ready to pounce off the roof.
All right, Ava's looking through this window with her hands cupped around her eyes to try and get a real good look inside.
Vex is on the roof with you. All right. It seems to be very nicely furnished for a farmhouse. Everything seems to be in pretty good order. You don't see anything out of place. Spartan's on the roof with you. Okay, I'm just letting you know.
Is there anything valuable?
Not that you can see right off the bat. No.
Okay. Lionel, get me down, please.
Yes.
I have lost interest with this shiny coin. He doesn't let me catch it, so I'm going to stay up on the roof and look around.
I will flip it about 10 feet, so it's about halfway to the roof.
I'm already talking to Viktas, so I don't see your coin.
Damn it.
Thank you, Viktas.
Yep. While you're like, all this is going on, I just kind of almost appear next to you. It's like, so you find anything?
Nothing of interest. The cart's gone, so I'm assuming you're either getting supplies or selling some of their wares.
And I just kind of whisper to Viktas, he won't let me do much, so I haven't really been able to find anything.
We're not committing crimes.
I mean, he doesn't pay you sub.
Look, we came here in the name of the Adventurers Guild. The guy said, in Pacifics, do not do anything that would tarnish that name. Committing crimes would tarnish that name. I'm just following
Only if we get caught.
They're
Like I said, if
doors
Viktas
are
throws
locked.
me through the roof, it's not a crime. I just fell through the roof.
Pretty sure there's some trespassing laws that you could get dinged with for that.
That is still breaking and entering. It doesn't matter how it's done.
But like I said, if
That is literally breaking and entering. You're breaking the building.
like I said, if we don't get
The
caught,
longer-
it doesn't matter.
The longer we stay here, the more time they have to come back and see us messing around with their house.
Some of us.
I'm fixing the roof, excuse me. The shingle was out of place. God.
Is there anything else that we could...
You do notice a couple of like the people around the village walking by, just kind of looking at you all oddly.
Gonna wave to one of them.
They just act like they don't see anything and keep going. But
I
I like
like stare them
that.
down for a bit and then go back to looking where I was generally looking at.
I find one thing very suspicious about this, though. If the family went to town to sell wares, why are the farmhands not here?
Well, they might not have farmhands. I mean, it looks like a small planting farm. It doesn't take a huge number of people to be able to maintain a farm of this size.
Yes,
Are
but
there
if they've
any-
only had one child, they would definitely have at least a farmhand.
Why? Like, look at the size of it. It's not a big farm.
And well,
Do they have a shed?
well, it's a mix between a tool shed and a farmhand buildings, from what I understand.
Why don't we look at that?
Already did.
And what
He looked at it. He didn't try to get in it.
We're not breaking in.
I'm gonna head over and try and open the door.
Jesus Christ! I'm gonna sit on the porch with my shield in front of me, like between my legs, and just be patient. If they commit a crime, I'm not with them.
okay.
That's the best mindset.
I'm just gonna try and open the door.
It is
Nahak's
locked.
just been sitting like
The door is
cross-legged
locked.
this whole time.
Are there any windows or anything in the shed?
No.
Or any like how neatly crafted is the wood? Like, is it a little bit old? Is there a little gap through it where one might be able to peek through?
No. The whole town seems to be very well made and freshly made. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of gaps in the buildings or anything.
I'm gonna head around the back to a point where I'm not going to be easily visible, and I'm going to use my dagger to just make a little hole, just one big enough to look through.
Nahak is sitting cross-legged somewhere. Where's Ronnie?
All right.
Just
it would
on my
take-
shoulder.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Did you guys not hear?
No.
Oh, so he's just kind of on my shoulder.
Mm.
All right. So, looking at the wood with your dagger, you realize it may take a while to do so. It's not really thin wood or anything. It's pretty thick.
Okay. Huh. Well, that's rubbish. All right then. Yeah, I'll just head back. Looks like the door's locked.
Yes, it is. So, are we going to go back to the inn, or are we going to wait here until they arrive?
Can we go look at some mud?
Look at all the... Actually, is there a storm cellar door?
No, you don't see one on this one.
Interesting. If they have a basement, it is not from an outside entrance.
Can we see any tracks from where the supposed muddy boots were?
I've looked for those. The only things I found were multiple prints from different people.
No, you can see that the field is a mixture of like mud and like almost mulch and stuff where they plowed it and everything. Around the house, you can see some tracks of mud as well, but it seems to be less so there.
Where's there most mud?
Just in the field.
So that must be where our researcher was.
There's too many tracks over there for me to discern any.
Well, no, I just mean that to get that kind of mud on his boots, to track it all the way back through town, he must have been over there.
Most likely. But why in the field if he was just going to take her through town? Or to somewhere he was hiding?
Have we looked at this field?
It's a good point. If he's got mud on his boots from this field, and he took the kid from this place, it stands to reason that he would have taken it into these woods.
Now, here's a question. Is there a fence around the farm?
No.
Okay, so we cannot look for a broken fence then. If we each go opposite sides of the farm and meet at the back end of the farmland that leads into the woods, we can see if there's any tracks that would lead into the woods. If that's the case, then we know not to look in town. Unless they went out hunting.
Is any of the ground around this part of the field disturbed, like someone was dragged or walked heavily through it?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
I'm going to assist you on that.
All right, so roll with advantage. You do not see anything out of the ordinary. There are some tracks and everything around it, but it looks like the typical tracks you would find on a farm.
This just seems weird. If people were working here, the ground would be more disturbed. Especially a little kid.
Well, the kid's been gone for about a week. Like, it's unlikely that a week after he's been here that his footprints are still going to be around.
No, but like the grass and stuff would have some signs of wear.
Depends if it's rained or not. That would help a lot in this situation.
Well, so you said that there are tracks that go into the field, right?
From multiple people, farm
Yeah,
and
from multiple people.
family.
So we can go into the field following the tracks and see if any of them lead out of the field towards like the back end, towards the woods, rather than to other parts of the field.
Even if they do go in the woods, which I'm not opposed to look for, it could just be the family hunting as well.
Could be.
Well,
Look,
No, I feel like it
Very-
deserves to be checked out.
I'm not disagreeing.
It sounds plausible.
Well, if there's any tracks that are heavier, like they're sunken in farther, leading away, that could be him carrying the child.
and besides, if it was the family like going out hunting, I think they'd probably have an easier time following this path across and then up here rather than walking through a plowed field.
It's also true.
Also, it wouldn't make sense to go through town with a kidnapped child, so where else would it be?
But if he was taken over by some witch or some magic, then we'd have no idea where it was hidden. It could have been from their direction that he hid them somewhere.
I think we should go and follow the tracks, even if we don't know that they're from the guy and the kid and whatnot. Might as well. There's the only tracks here.
It's true. And if it doesn't lead anywhere, we can always just go back to the inn.
That's fine by me.
Worth looking into.
Okay. So you guys take a little while to like look through the tracks in the field, try to find some that lead away. After probably about 20 minutes or so of trying to determine which ones are going, you find one set of tracks that lead, looks to be about 230 feet from the field back to an old set of ruins. But then the trail is lost there.
There is ruins, though.
Yeah, it's this spot here on the map.
Are
Okay.
they like human footprints, like shoes, or are they like animal tracks?
It looks to be a set of normal humans, and then you can see a faint set of small child's footprints as well.
Do they seem like they're equal? Or do they seem like it's more like dragging marks? Or does it seem like they were heavy-footed?
They are kind of faded, but you can see that there seem to be some little drag marks for the smaller footprints, but for the most part, they look like normal stepping for a child.
They could be just trying to catch up from that description.
Which suggests that the child wasn't taken against his will.
That's what I'm saying, too. I think we should check out the ruins, and if there's nothing here, then we go back to the room, unless we find more evidence or tracks.
All right.
All right, Shiny, then lead the way.
Why am I shiny?
Are the ruins dark?
They're in this the shadow of the trees and stuff. As it's becoming after midday now, there's a little bit longer shadows. But looking around, you see old footprints here and there. It looks like child's playing around, or even adults coming back to find time away from the village.
Going to draw my sword and walk around the ruins and corners and any area that might have a disguise kind of door, maybe like a trap door. Just start like tapping the stone to see if it sounds hollow.
Okay. No need to roll. You do not find anything like that back there.
Okay.
Do we see where the muddy tracks on the stone lead?
No, most of the tracks just kind of stop at that area. So. And you do see some that lead back towards the farm or towards the other houses close to there.
Like continuing on from where we found the other ones?
Like almost like they go out there and then come back. Like that's as far as they go. Then they come back to the town type thing.
And they look similar.
Yes.
So are we gonna go into these ruins, or?
I've already been poking around them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look, like see if there's any markings on the stones, anything to indicate any form of writing or anything of significance, really.
I'm gonna take a peek around cautiously.
I'm gonna look around with my sword out as well, just looking at the stones to see if there's any sort of telling on how old it would be, or any sort of telling on what's growing around it.
Okay.
Is the ruins mainly stone, or is there wood that was here?
No, it's just stone. You
Okay.
see pretty much the outer edges of what may have been a small stone building, about 60 feet across. That you see the corners of it. There are like vines and stuff starting to grow back over the stones. It looks like it's just the remains of a structure from long ago. But you find nothing out of the ordinary, no hidden passageways, nothing, no writing or anything to indicate what it was.
I'm gonna sit and ritual cast detect magic for 10 minutes.
Okay. Anybody
What do the
else?
runes? What do the runes smell like?
Just like the forest, and a little bit of moss.
But not much.
No.
When I'm done with my investigation, I'm waiting for everybody. I'm just going to sit against the tree.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my feline senses and look around. Not.
Okay. So after the 10 minutes is up, the ritual is casted. You detect no magic in the area.
Okay.
Can we tell if the stone is a natural stone, or if someone brought it there? Like, does it belong to the forest, or is it something that was made?
It's definitely the base of a structure that was man-made.
Is anybody inside of the stone? Like, I'm assuming it's a foundation.
I mean, it literally looks like this, where that ping is.
Oh.
I'm gonna try just walking around it and through it, just kind of meandering.
Okay. After a little while, you start to hear more of the animals in the forest as they get comfortable with you guys being there. You hear chirps of birds, squirrels squeaking.
Birds.
What kind of birds?
Say it sounds from the noise that they're making that they are we'll go with swallows. Yeah.
Do I see any of them?
No, you can just hear them at the moment.
Well, swallows like farms.
Trick starts licking her lips, like, yummy, crunchy, little bite-sized treats.
Still under a tree. Bastard. Damn fucking creatures.
Well, I don't think we're finding anything here I mean, assuming the detect magic doesn't bring anything up.
Nope. Nothing.
All right. Let's head to the inn. I'm eager to get into that room and see what kind of witchiness goes on.
Wait, I'm really starting to wonder about something.
What's that?
Well, like, if we can't even find the parents, like, who reported their child missing and where the heck are they?
Like I said, the cart was gone. They could just be in town selling wares. By the time we've been out here, they might have returned. I was going to stop by there before we got.
But, like, if your child was kidnapped, you wouldn't be shopping in town.
Business still needs to be done, regardless if you are missing a family member or not. Or they could be prepping for funeral services.
I'm pretty sure, like, at least mom would stay back and hope her kid would come back.
It's been over a week. The chances of survival are about 5%.
You're such a downer.
You investigate a lot of
am a soldier.
child kidnappings, eh?
I worked in a prison as a executioner and a dungeon keeper. I know faces of innocent and faces of evil. So
You haven't even seen their faces yet, though, and you're already like, their parents did it.
I didn't say their parents did it.
I said the parents did it. I still think they did.
Yeah,
I know the man that they have
Cultists,
locked up right
that's
now
what
is
it
innocent.
Cultists and hags.
I agree with the hag, or the spirit that he was investigating could also be at fault.
Did she like children?
I don't have that information.
One thing that we do know, though, is that the parents most likely didn't, like nothing would have happened to them per se, because they were careful enough to lock up before they left. So, wherever they were going, they clearly intended to return. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have bothered locking the place.
It's true. I don't think the family has much of a hope for seeing their child at the moment left, anyways.
Anyway, to the end.
Behavior, that's all.
I'll start strolling back
Yeah.
through towards the inn.
I'm gonna stop at the farm quick. Is the cart there? Is there anybody knows over there now?
No, it still seems that nobody has returned.
How long has it been since we've gotten here?
I'd say a couple hours.
Interesting. Start walking back to the town then. The tracks for the cart, do they go, like, as soon as they leave the driveway area, do they go towards the town or away from the town?
As soon as it gets to the main part by the river, it's kind of jumps out into a bunch of other tracks where people have gone by.
I'll come back tomorrow. If they're not here then, I'm gonna start having suspicions.
Alright, so we have this in now?
Yes, you guys are headed towards the end, and you make it to the entrance.
Is there any passerbys on a cart that look particularly down?
No. I mean, most of the people in the town seem to be going about their day, not really happy, not really sad or anything. Just kind of, you get a mixture of people, but nothing seems to be so down that you would think that they just lost a child.
As we're walking by, I mean, there are other houses and stuff that we would have to go past before we even cross the river into the main city. So surely there'll be people around. We could just ask them if there's a passerby. Just ask, hey, do you know where the people at that house are? Like,
Or a
nobody seems to
neighbor.
be home.
A neighbor might be a good idea.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Since we're next to their house, passerby is likely to be a neighbor.
That's a good point.
Yeah. You ask a couple of different people. They've all said that they have not seen them recently.
How recently?
They had heard that they had left to go to a village not too far with some relatives in this time.
Inconvenient, but makes sense.
So they're not even in town?
They have not been seen in town in the past day or so.
How far away is this other village?
They say the closest village is probably 8 miles away.
So when is this guy getting executed? Because they're acting real weird.
3 days.
By knowing that, then I don't think we can wait for them to get back to investigate that house, because by the time they come back, we won't have any more time to attempt to clear our client's name.
So let's just go to the inn and then break into the house tomorrow. Sound good?
Works for me.
I
It's
normally
8 miles. I can make the trip in a day.
wanted this time.
Shiny, a man's life's on the line. We gotta break some rules to potentially save him.
Not necessarily. Could always get a permit.
I mean, we could, but it is what it is. Well, let's just see what happens.
I will go back to the guard. I will go back to the guard captain tonight before bed and talk to him to see if I can get a permit and look at the evidence that they currently have, including his other belongings that could be over the other case of this possible hag or spirit.
Do you think they're gonna allow you to get a permit when they want to kill someone without any actual evidence that he did it?
Yes.
I mean, they might. They let us talk to him and said that they were quite, willing to let us investigate. It's possible.
I also have a little bit more pullway with military, so. And if I do get a permit, you can break into the house however you wish.
Is that a promise?
It is, because we'd have a permit then.
Sweet.
Just try not to cause too much damage.
Just enough.
Blowing the door off the hinges, fine. Burning the house down, no.
What if we burn the door down?
As long as it doesn't spread.
Well, anyway, let's. I assume that over the course of this conversation and everything, we're getting close to the inn.
Yes. And you guys approach what looks to be 3-story. Take that back, 2-story building.
Okay.
The front porch with 2 double doors leading inside. Go ahead and put you on
Yep.
the map. For me.
Head on inside.
All right. So you can see kind of what it is. You see 2 individuals sitting outside, enjoying some pipes, just talking to each other.
Okay. What are they talking about?
Just random business. They seem to be, from their conversation, merchants that travel the area.
I'll give them a friendly nod and wave.
The door doesn't want to open.
DM this. Map is really cool, just FYI.
I tried opening the door, but
Yeah.
it didn't work. All right. Let's head on in. There's a lady behind the bar.
All right. You are greeted by a lady as you walk in. Says, "Oh, welcome to the inn. I am." Sorry, I lost your name.
She is who?
I am Elstra Bloodoak. I'm the manager of the inn.
My name is Viktas. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Kind of take her hand and gently kiss it. Offer a wry smile. A fine establishment this is.
Thank you. How may we be of assistance? I mean, come in, please. Make yourself comfortable. We can get you food and drink if you like.
An ale would be welcome. However, I say however, as well as that, I was wondering if perhaps we could make use of one of your rooms.
Oh, yes, we do have a couple still available. It is getting close to the time where they will fill up quickly, but.
Well, I understand that there's a special room, Catalina's room.
Oh, yeah, we can give you that one. That one typically doesn't get rented out too often.
Well, that'll do just nicely.
Very well. It will be 1 silver for the evening.
I'll take a gold coin and place it in her hand, and like with my own hand, like close her hand around it, and say, "That'll be for the room, and the rest is for you."
She kind of gives you a shy look and says, "Thank you. It's very kind of you."
If you wouldn't mind, which room is it? I'm eager to take my ale and have a bit of a relax in the room. I don't know where the rest of these guys are staying.
Very well. I can show you to it. And then she starts to lead you to the back over here towards the upstairs.
As we're going, I'm just going to be making like bits of small talk, sort of asking what their house delicacies are and things like that, since they do serve food and stuff, and how many guests they tend to have staying and whatnot.
Okay. Yes, she has typically 4 rooms get filled most of the time. There are a total of 7 rooms that are available. Most of them have double or single beds, but most of them can fit 2 people or more, depending.
A single bed with 2 or more people, eh? I quite like the sound of that.
Sorry, single beds.
Oh, okay. I don't change what I say.
Right.
He's a cuddler.
So she leads you up to the stairs to the 2nd floor. Is everyone going with him, or?
I'll go with him, but I'm gonna ask her questions once he's done.
Okay. All right. So if you're gonna go upstairs with her, just go ahead and put yourself on the same spot as a token, so I can move them all at once. Okay. Oh. You may have to reset. Oh. I'm not in Discord. I know. I'm just saying.
Okay. So where is she?
No, I'm still moving. All right. So she leads you guys towards this room here. She unlocks the door.
All right. And so thank you very much. I'll probably be down in a little while for something to eat, but other than that, I think I'll probably be taking my rest. But should the need arise, I kind of lean up against the door. Which room's yours?
Ew.
I do not stay at the inn. Thank you.
Shame. Well, good night. And I'll head into the room.
I'm gonna apologize to her and say sorry about him. He's super creepy.
I'm used to it. If you need anything, the housekeepers will be around, and you can always come down to the bar to get food and things.
I do have a few questions for you in particular.
Oh, okay.
So, I believe this is the same inn as a current person in question under the execution in a few days was staying at, yes?
Yes.
the room that was just rented by him, that's the same one, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Do you know anything about the visitor that you've had? Did he say anything, act a bit strange, leave at an unnecessary time?
No, I hadn't heard anything odd about him except when the guard came and took him the next morning.
Would any of the housekeepers stay through the night in order to see him leave or come?
It is possible. They do have shifts throughout the night to make sure everyone is okay.
Would the one or two that stayed here for that night happen to be in right now?
No, but they will be in later this evening. They typically work the night shift.
Thank you. That's all I need for now.
Oh, yeah. Very well. All right. So, everybody that's looked into the room. All right. So, Viktas, Incantrix, Leonard, Lyonel, sorry. You all noticed that the room's dimensions and angles seem to defy natural geometry. I'm sure they are all trying to.
The angles of the room seem to defy natural geometry.
Yes.
Okay.
And everybody that I just said, I need you to make a sanity saving throw.
Well, that's going to be easy with my -1. Oh, hey, look at that.
All right. So, okay. You guys are fine. All right, Lionel, if you can, give me a D100 roll.
Oh boy. 62.
Okay, and roll a D10.
Ooh.
All right, for the next 4 minutes, you are experiencing vivid hallucinations and have disadvantage on ability checks.